Hello everybody, it's the Danky here, and welcome back to another Gamemaker tutorial. Today, we got something fresh off the grill, hot off the press, sizzling out of the oven, unfreshing, believable, and whatever. So, today we're going to be talking about Scrollbars, bars that scroll. And right now, we're in a game of mine that I've been making for a little while now, a little too long if you ask me, called Symphonic Mayhem. Here's a bit of shameless plugging of myself. But I recently did this in this game, so I'm going to kind of show you what it's about, but also kind of show the game a little bit, but not really. This isn't like its official like debut. I just wanted to kind of a sneak preview. So if we select my profile, we come up here to upgrades. This is what I have. Here's the list of all the upgrades you can play in the game. As you can see, we got our little guy down here. We're like, no, where are you at, guy? So I'm actually using a gamepad right now for the controls. So if I just only go on the D-pad, as you can see, we got this little scroll bar on the side. And then we got like everything that kind of goes up and down with it. As you can see, when the scroll bar's on the bottom, we reach the bottom like of this one right here, for instance, you know? So like this guy isn't like at the top or anything like that. And as we can see, if we hit the top of here, it's like the bottom. So it's just kind of like this area. Pretty cool. So basically, this is what we're going to be doing today. So I just wanted to show this a little bit. Exit the desktop. Put my gamepad down. All right. Now let's go. Let's go. So I've pulled out an oldie but a goodie. It's really actually not that old. It's just Monday's tutorial, which was 2 days ago. The profile saving tutorial. I decided that this would be a good one to show, to use. Whoa, something weird's happening over here. Whoa, okay, we're good. There's just second screen doing some stuff. So, we're just gonna show what we have so far. Excuse me. I just downed a bunch of animal crackers before I started this video. So, we're gonna hit some of that. So right now we got our profiles, right? We come down, right, we can make a new game. Boop, Lori, whatever, right? Claudette, and Lori, and Meg, and Claudette. Where's Dwight? There's Dwight. So we can make like our profiles and stuff, right? Basically, we're gonna use these to like scroll. All right. So we're gonna make like more that goes down. So first off, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna increase the amount. So yeah, if you want to get this is just another tutorial. I'll probably link in the description if I remember, so you can take a look at this. But basically, we got this for loop that makes all of our profile things like this. And so we're making 10 of them right now. But let's go ahead and make 15. Let's make it even 16, right? All right. And then let's make a room a little bit bigger. Just a little bit taller. Like 880, you know? Just so we can see like the top of the last one, because I would say that's a tip of mine. Your pro game design tip is that you can have your scroll bar and stuff, but like I'm actually gonna make this like a little bit shorter. But it's good if you can give them if they can see that there's like a little bit of more stuff down here, because as it's kind of coming off the screen, they can see, oh, this probably scrolls down, right? Right. So we can go ahead and let's go back to our room. I'm gonna make it 864, I think. And let's just check that really quick. But basically, yeah, we're gonna have 16. Actually, we're gonna have 17. Oh yeah, I need to go back and adjust that, or am I? I don't know. So yeah, as you can see, they go off the screen, and then we'll probably just make the scroll bar right here. So first off, let's make the art for it, because art is good. We'll do this really quick, actually, because I want to make it as tall as like here to like down here. So I'm not sure, but we can find out like what this is, how many pixels this is. So for instance, I'm just gonna go over here. Our file normal size is 64 pixels tall, okay? And if we go to our make profiles, we are making them 80 pixels apart. All right. Actually, but if they're 64, that means their origin is 32, and if they're starting at 54, okay. Let's do some math, even though this isn't even, it's actually, the answer's 22. But I'm gonna do it anyways. 34 minus 32, yeah, 22. Okay. So that makes it easy, so we don't like our border. So our room is 684. We minus 22 from that, and that gets 842. All right. Now let's make our art. So let's do SPR scroll bar. It is. We're gonna make it seriously like 12. Like it's not gonna be very wide. In fact, it's gonna be less than that. It's gonna be 8. And then its height is 842. Yeah. All right. So this I'm not gonna go too crazy with. Pretty much, we're gonna go make it like, give it like a dark gray like border, like all the way down. We can maybe zoom out just a little bit. And just come down here, dark gray, dark gray, dark gray. Making a scroll bar. Oh, let's make this full screen. Whoa! I forget, scrolling doesn't like scroll, you know, it makes it like big. It scales it, not scroll. Which throws me off every single time, because every time I try and do it, but every time I learn that it's incorrect. Alright, boop, boop, boop. Do this. Now we're at the bottom to where we're gonna go all the way down to like here. All the way down there. Right here. Let's get ourselves like a lighter gray, just a little bit, not crazy. And like that. Alright, cool. And now we're gonna we hit center, but we're not gonna do that. We're actually just gonna center it on the X, because our width is 8. So putting it in the middle is 4. We want to keep our Y at the top though. And then we want to make our scroll button. SPR scroll button. Alright, this I'm going to make a little bit wider than our bar, so we're going to make a width of 10 and a height of like 12. Alright. Yeah, that's good. Now what color should this be? I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it a height of 16. There we go. Let's make it green. Yeah, I'm going to make it like a rounded square. Nice. Alright, we're going to get this like kind of darker green and make that like its base color. We're going to shade it a little bit over here. So we're just going to be like boop, 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 boop. Like that. Put a little bit in there like that. Get this color again. Make it a little brighter. Mirror the same thing. Boop, boop, boop. And boop, boop. And then we put a little bit of that in there. Sweet. We have our scroll button, to which we are going to actually center this one. Oh, it's still running. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Okay. So, first off, let's make our scroll. Actually, it's just gonna be scroll bar. This is actually gonna be our object right here, is the scroll bar. And very first thing I want to do is come into our profiles. And this isn't really something. I'm just gonna go instance create. Let's see if our things are, how wide are our things? They're 256. Let's see, 256 plus 22, because that's like a border. 276, and we're gonna plus 4 to that. 282. Let's do that. 282. Right now I'm just making our scroll bar thing. 22. Object scroll bar. Yeah, except I call this scroll bar. Oh my goodness, I always do that. Scroll bar. And this is our sprite too. Scroll bar. Okay. Typing. Spelling. I'm good at spelling. Don't even worry about it. Alright. So let's go in here and run this, just to see that we got ourselves a nice little scroll bar. Setting up some stuff. It's really close. I'm going to move it over a little bit, but you see, it's there. And it goes down a little far, but that's okay, honestly. It's okay. Because I'm probably just going to go resize canvas. Top. Make it like 820. There we go. And at the bottom. Here we go. I know. We gotta get to the scroll bar stuff. This is like setting it up. This is putting it into our game, making it good. Kind of to show a little bit, you know, like this is what I do with it. Well, this is what I would do with it, or how I would get it in here. All you'd make is that object, or just put it in the room, or something like that. So we run this, make sure it's looking all the good size and everything. goofed up a little bit. See, there we go. Now that's looking great. All right, cool. Now, let's actually get to some scrolly stuff. Now, I'm going to go to my example over here as well. All right, so first, we're going to go into the create event, and we're going to say, we're going to call this button Y equals 0. This is going to be the Y at which our scrolly button starts. All right. Then we're going to say scroll amount equals 20. This is going to be the how fast it scrolls if we're going to use the mouse wheel. In this tutorial, we're going to do both the mouse wheel and the clicking on it just with the mouse and whatnot. All right. Oh, yeah, and in that case, we're going to have to say active equals false. False. There we go. All right, cool. So let's do this first. Oh, and then we want to make one more thing. We want to say global scroll perk equals 0. Okay. And then our scroll bar is 820. We're going to remember that. Actually, let's just make a variable. Bar height equals 820. All right. This is what we have right here. Okay. So now, we're going to make a step event. And very first thing we're going to do is go global scroll perk equals, all right? And then we're going to have our button Y divided by bar height. Basically, we're just getting a percentage, a number between 1 and 0, or 0% and 100%. 0% being all the way at the top, and 100% being all the way at the bottom. That's what we're getting right here. So we're taking our button Y as where our scroll button is on our bar, and dividing it by the total bar's height. And that gives our, our percentage of what we have. So, now, let's just do scroll wheel. First, if mouse wheel up, pretty easy. And I'm going to add a little bit in here. I'm going to say if mouse X is less than X. So basically we're going to say if our mouse is to the left of our scroll bar, so we're only going to scroll in that area, right? Then we're going to say button Y plus equals mouse wheel up. Oh, we're going to minus equals scroll amount, I believe is what we called it. Let's check. Scroll amount. Yep, there we go. Scroll amount. And then we say if mouse wheel down, same thing. If mouse underscore X is less than X, button Y plus equals scroll amount. And then as always, we want to say button Y. We're going to say equals, and we're going to use the clamp function, and we're going to say button underscore Y. Minimum value 0. Maximum value is bar height. So putting this little thing, so yeah, if we're scrolling up, and if our mouse is to the left of our bar, then it's going to scroll up. And if we're scrolling down on the mouse wheel, and if the mouse is to the left, we're going to scroll down on the bar. Then we're just limiting using this clamp function. We're making sure that our button Y, or our button on our wheel, or button on our bar, never goes below 0 and never goes above the bar's height. All right. So this much we can actually go in here. Oh, and then one more thing. I also forgot. We want to draw event. I want to say draw self. Dink. And we want to say draw sprite. And the sprite is going to be SPR scroll button. Subimage 0. X is X. Y is Y plus button Y. So we can test this out. We can go in here and we can... So far we got just regular scrolling with our mouse wheel. Boom, here we go. So, and nothing's going to change over here. But as you see, I'm scrolling right now. Nothing's happening. If I scroll down, you can see that our bar goes down. And as I scroll up, you can see that our button goes up. And it goes to the bottom, and I'm still scrolling down right now. But as you can see, our button's not going anywhere. So if I scroll up, and I'm still scrolling up, our button also doesn't go anywhere. So we got our limits and stuff like that, which is really neat. Now I'm going to make it, no, well, not I'm going to make it, but now we're going to make it so that we can scroll like by clicking on it and dragging it as well. So let's go into here, scroll bar. So we have this active variable, and that's what we're going to use. So we're going to say mouse left pressed. Yeah. F pressed. So then so basically when we click anywhere on the bar, if active is equal to false, active is equal to true. I think that's all we need to do right here, actually. Yeah, okay. And then we go mouse, global left released. And then we're going to say if active is equal to true, active equals false. All right. So basically we're saying that if we click anywhere on the bar, then if we're not already active is just a variable that we're going to use as being it. Like if we're scrolling by dragging, or if we're scrolling by scrolling. That's basically what we're showing right here. So if we're scrolling by dragging is what this is basically saying. Then it'll say yes, we click on it, we are dragging. But if we release this anywhere else on the screen, so basically this will make it so that we don't have to be like precise on the bar. We can just, we can kind of move the mouse around and we can still scroll, which is pretty cool. But whenever we release the mouse button anywhere on the screen, if we are active, make it false. So then we're going to our step event. First thing we're going to do is we're going to say if active equals false. So basically if we're not dragging it with the mouse, so then I'm going to tab this all forward so that it's all parallel and it makes sense. So first, now we're going to put all of this that we did before into some curly brackets, say if active equals false. So if we're not dragging it, then detective, we're going to scroll. Oh no, the animal cracker bits are coming to haunt me. Okay. Else, if active equals true, this is going to be pretty easy. Then we're just going to say button Y is equal to mouse Y minus Y. I know, it's a lot of Y right there. But we're going to take our button Y because at the top, let's just say it's at the top. At the top, our button Y is going to be 0, right? But if our mouse is at that point, right, then the mouse's Y is going to be 22. Because if we remember, that's how far down we made our bar. So our mouse's Y is going to be 22. So we're subtracting it by the bar's Y. Basically, we're taking that out of the equation so that when our mouse Y is at the top, it's also going to be like, this is going to equal out to 0, making that the button Y. And then we keep this on the bottom, though. This clamp, we want to keep that outside of everything else. So that way, even if we go like below or above our bar, our mouse will still, it'll still just stay within the bounds. So let's give that a try. Let's give it. Let's just do it. I know, I hope I'm not going too fast, and I hope I'm not making anything too crazy. So now if we as you can see, if we click on it, I can as you can see, we can grab it, right? And as I let go, and I'm clicking over here and nothing's happening and dragging and stuff. But as you see, I'm still holding it. I'm still holding down my mouse. I let go of the mouse and it stops, right? So pretty cool. We can drag it this way, and then as I'm scrolling, as you can see, if I scroll, nothing happens, right? But now if I let go and I can scroll, then we can go like this. So we got some cool functionality. So now all we got to do is transform this or move these depending on our scroll height. And this is the part that gets a little confusing, but that's okay. So the reason why we made this global, our scroll percentage, is that that's what these boys, our profile things, the things that we're trying to scroll, are going to use to actually scroll. Now, it's actually not a lot of code. It's actually one line of code. But it gets a little confusing. So we're going to go into our step event, and this is all stuff that you can check out in the last tutorial. But if you can even you can look at it now and see what it does. So first, we're going to say Y Oh, wait. We need to add one more thing. Before we do this, we need to go to our create event. And we need to say start y equals y. Because we gotta save where our button was originally. Because then it's gonna use that like origin point based off of where it was and use that. We're gonna see. But basically we need that. So then we're gonna say y equals start underscore y minus, and this is where things, of course, are gonna get a little weird. But we're going to put 3 left parentheses, and we're going to say instance number object profile minus 10. Yeah. Times 80. And I'll explain all of this in a second. Let's just get this typed out. Times global dot scroll perk for percentage right parenthesis. All right, time for me to explain myself. Here we go. So we're setting our new y based off of our start y, based off of where we originally were. Now, this number, what this number is the amount of rows there are, basically, right? So in our case, and actually I can go in and run the game right now. In our case, there is 1 object per row. And as you can see, this works. But there's one object per row, right? So that's really good for us, right? But like, for instance, in my game that I showed you, I had like 10 upgrades per row. So basically, the way I kept track of that is that as I created them, every time a new row was created, I made a variable called rows, pretty much, and put that apart. And like then it would be rows minus. All right, now if we go back here, so this is like your rows, but since there's 1 object per row in our case, we can just say instance number object profile. All right, does that make sense? And we're subtracting 10 because, let's go back, because 10 is the amount of whole objects we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see like this one's half gone. So 10 is the amount of full objects that we have, or full rows that we have. In the instance of my game, I was subtracting 3 because I would have 3 visible rows that were completely visible at a time. So that's where that 10 is coming from, is that it's these 10 right here. Okay? And then we're timesing it by 80 because that's how many pixels apart each object is in our scroll, right? And then we're timesing that by our scroll percentage, by how, like, where our scroll bar is, like how our scroll button is in our bar. Okay? I hope that sort of makes sense. To be honest, I'm not sure how I came up with this. But I'm thinking what I'm doing is I'm getting some sort of margin and then timesing it by the scroll percentage. Like, basically, we're getting like a space between like the top and the bottom of where all the buttons are going to be, like that margin, and then just timesing it by the percentage, you know. But that's basically what this is doing. Now we're subtracting it from our start y. So as this number gets bigger, the bars go more up. I hope that makes sense. But if you know where to get like these buttons, so you know where to get these numbers, then it's easy to plug them in and go with it. But this is the amount of rows that you have, and this is the amount of rows that are visible. This is the space in pixels between the rows, and that's not supposed to happen. And that's your global percentage variable of your percentage of where the bar is, or the button is on your scroll bar. I hope that makes sense. But then we can look at our finished product and say, wowee, because now we look at this. I'm scrolling with the mouse wheel right now, and look at this. We're just like scrolling, bloop, 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 because now we can come down here, I think, and we can be like, new game. Oh, except it restarts the room. But look, now we got Oh, we got Lori way down there. And then I can grab it and I can be like, all right, let's just scroll, scroll, scroll. Super cool. But then here's the thing. What's really cool is that the whole system works like multiplicatively, I guess. So if we go to our make profiles, so there's 16 right now, but what happens if I go 50? You know, we're going to make 50 profiles, right? We're going to go ahead and load the game. Like, we don't have to change any programming. As you can see, as I scroll down, we're scrolling through all 50. I didn't have to change any programming. It just knows, it just uses the information that it has to make all new stuff, pretty much, right? So yeah, we can scroll down all the way. And in fact, I can number them too. I would like to do that, actually. I was thinking about that earlier. Like, I want to number our things. Let's go here and let's go draw text. We should have that. We should have that variable in here. Portrait name, size, start Y. We should number. Yeah, because then I can say draw text X plus 80, Y plus minus 18, and then I can say number. And let's take this and put it down here. All right. Not super important to what we're doing, but basically so we can see that there's 50. So yeah, it was 0, 1, 2, 3, except this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as you see, we get down the bottom. This is 49, so like 50, right? So it's really neat. Scroll bars are pretty awesome. You can use them a lot in your games and stuff. And they could be really useful as far as menu making. Like, these could be levels. They could be upgrades, perks, stats, whatever you want them to be, really. Characters, even. What you can do. So, oh yeah, and then you can click like anywhere and you can just like go to that place on the bar. Super neat. Super cool stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more of this crap. Always remember to have a complete breakfast, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.